This is screencast number 3 for Unit 6, Lesson 2, and I'm on page 288. All right. How are the surface temperatures of stars measured? If you look into the night sky, you might be able to see that stars have different colors. Why do the stars' colors vary? And the answer is that differences in colors are due to differences in their temperature, in their surface temperature. Okay, so how are the surface temperatures of stars measured? Measured primarily by their color. You can see how temperature affects color in heated metal. As shown in the illustrations below, a steel bar glows different colors as it's heated to higher and higher temperatures. Okay. As the temperature of a black body increases, black body is something that's its color only depends on temperature. As the temperature of a black body rises, it glows brighter and brighter red. As it gets hotter, it changes color to orange, then yellow, then white, then blue-white. It also glows more brightly. You're not going to be able to take a steel bar and heat it to where it's blue-white because it would melt before then. But they're illustrating the point of, so we're used to thinking of red as warm and blue as cold, but when we're talking about things that are glowing because they're giving off light as a result of heat, then it's exactly the opposite. The table shows the way in which the surface temperatures of stars are related to color. Stars that have the lowest surface temperatures, below about 3,500 degrees Celsius, are red. Stars that have the highest surface temperatures, above 25,000 degrees Celsius, are blue. Okay. Going to page 289, how are the sizes of stars measured? Remember, we said on the previous pages that most stars are primarily hydrogen and helium. They're all balls of gases that are undergoing nuclear fusion to create light and other forms of radiation. But there's a lot of ways that stars are different. Their color can be different, their temperature can be different, their size can be different, their mass can be different, a lot of things. Okay, so how are the sizes of stars measured? Like the colors of stars, the sizes of stars vary greatly. Stars may be about the same size as Earth, meaning about the same diameter as Earth, or larger than the size of Earth's orbit around the Sun. So what do astronomers use to measure star size? It is always easiest to start with an object that you're familiar with. That's why astronomers use the size of the Sun to describe the size of other stars. Okay, so we're going to describe the size of other stars using solar radii, the solar radius. Okay. Astronomers have indirectly measured the dimensions of our Sun. The Sun's radius is approximately 695,000 kilometers, which is about 109 times the radius of the Earth. Astronomers use this measure, which is the radius of the Sun, to measure the size of other stars. So we're going to talk about other stars in terms of, are they about the same radius of the Sun? Are they 10 times the radius of the Sun? Are they 100 times the radius of the Sun, etc.? Okay. Very small stars, which are called white dwarfs, are about the same size as Earth. The size of a white dwarf can be expressed as approximately 0.01 or 1/100th of a solar radius. Very large stars, which are called giant stars, typically have sizes of between 10 and 100 times the radius of the Sun. There are also rare, extremely large stars that have sizes of up to 1,000 solar radii, and these stars are called supergiants. Supergiants are often red or blue. Obviously, if they're red, they're fairly cool. Blue, they're fairly hot. Okay. At this point, I'm going to pause and I'm going to show you some of the things that I want to make sure that you remember and write down. On page 288, I underlined why do stars vary in color. It's because of the differences. The differences in color are due to their different surface temperatures. Up at the top, I made sure to remind myself that with stars, blue is hot and red is relatively cool, at least by star standards. It's, a red star still has a surface temperature that's several thousand degrees, but, compared to other stars, it's relatively cool. Okay? How are the surface temperatures of stars measured? They're measured by color. Under the color section, go down to the bottom paragraph. Stars that have the lowest surface temperatures below 3,500 degrees Celsius are red. Stars that have the highest surface temperatures above 25,000 degrees Celsius are blue. The table that's to the right on that page is very, very, very important. I put a little thought bubble around it, and I reminded you that our star's surface temperature is about 5,500 degrees Celsius. And if you look in that table, that tells you that our sun is a yellow star. And we've already learned that from the previous pages, that our sun is a yellow, middle-aged, small-ish star. And that makes sense because if you look at the table, yellow would be the color that you would get for a surface temperature of between 5,000 and 6,000 degrees Celsius. So that makes sense that our star appears yellow. All right. On page 289, here we go. How are the sizes of stars measured? Down at the bottom sentence of that paragraph, astronomers use the size of the sun to describe the size of other stars. Okay, so I just put a little reminder right here. Star size uses the sun as comparison. And right here, when your textbook talks about star size, it's talking about the radius of the star or the diameter of the star. Here, radius. But it's not talking about star mass. Okay? Okay, so how are the sizes of stars measured? By using solar radii. Okay, very small stars, which are called white dwarfs, are about the same size of the Earth. A white dwarf can be expressed as approximately 1/100th of a solar radius. Very large stars, called giants, typically have sizes of between 10 and 100 times the radius of the sun, and then there are rare supergiants that can have sizes of up to 1,000 times the radius of the sun, or 1,000 solar radii, and they're called supergiants. Okay, that should do it for lesson 2. Make sure that you do the vocabulary, that you go back and answer all of the active reading questions. You do not have to do the ones that are marked think outside the book, like number 12. You don't have to do that. Okay, but make sure that you do the vocabulary, the lesson review, and all of the active reading questions.